Hello and welcome to IS Dell Institute. I am Aditya and we are going to take the strategy session on the last 60 days to the UPSC CSE prelims exam. So you all are facing the heat of the exam and heat of the preparation, and most of you might be worried as of how to proceed the next 60 days up to the exam, which sources to refer, what strategy to follow, how to revise, how to manage the next 60 days, how to focus on both the coverage of the different subjects as well as revision of the different subjects, how to balance all of these with the different mocks of coaching institutes. If you encounter all or any of these problems, then do watch this video and you will be filled with different insights which will reduce not only your efforts but also increase your output in the upcoming exams. So we will discuss the timeline first. Only 60 days are remaining for the prelims exam. Now some of you might be the freshers and most of you might be the repeaters. So we shall be dividing this timeline of 60 days into the three phases, in which in the first 35 days you will be either covering the different subjects which you haven't covered as of yet, or if you have covered those subjects you will be giving a first comprehensive round of revision for all those subjects. I am reminding you, if any one or two subjects are remaining, then that should be your first priority to cover those subjects. After that you will start your first round of revision. Okay, within that first round of revision, let's say if you have all the 35 days and you have at least once read all the subjects through the standard reference books like NCERTs and different books like Lakshmikant, Spectrum, etc. Then you will give 5 days a subject, and within 5 days you will try to revise that subject. If at all you have given some sectional tests, then you will also revise the sectional tests along with those reference books and NCERTs. So 5 days per subject. Now while deciding which priority of the subjects to follow in revising the subjects within 5 days per subject, so first priority should be that subject which is difficult for you. Revise that subject which is difficult for you first, so that even if you need 1 or 2 days extra, it will be okay, because anyways the easier subjects you are going to cover within a lesser span of time. So I am tentatively telling you ki within 5 days of span you should cover one subject. Many of you might require 6 days for any particular subject, and you can cover a subject like environment, then science and technology within 4 days also. So it will be variable for every one of you, but I am tentatively telling you 5 days per subject. So 5 days into 7 subjects, that is 7 days. So if you reduce the 5 days for current affairs and you decide that current affairs would be revised on a daily basis along with the subjects, then you get 35 days for 6 subjects. So accordingly you might give more weightage or more days for the history revision, because history consists of ancient culture, art and medieval ancient and medieval, art and culture, and the modern history. You might need to give more time to refurbish or revise your current affairs. So accordingly you can allot the weightage for it. Now comes the question of mock test. So if any of you haven't given a single mock test, I would advise you to go for the full length mocks now. ठीक है? If a particular subject is very difficult for you, then only selectively go for the sectional mock of that particular difficult subject. Otherwise it's time for you to switch to the full length mocks. ठीक है? Now you will ask, sir, in what time should I attempt those full length mocks? So those full length mocks should be attempted within the time span of the prelim schedule, that is between 9:30 to 11:30. ठीक है? Why? Because it would be advisable for you that you should be having more focus, more practice and more mindset preparation of solving different MCQs of different subjects within those 2 hours, because once your mind and your body get habitual with it, it would be easier for you to attempt the questions in accurate manner in the actual exam. ठीक है. So that's about timeline. And same for the CSAT. If you are lagging in the CSAT preparation, you should attempt some full length CSAT mocks within the duration of 230 to 430. ठीक है. Then once your first round of comprehensive revision or coverage of the subjects is done, then you switch on to the second revision. Now while attempting the test, I will like to tell you that it's not just important to attempt the test, it is highly important that you analyze those tests as well. What do you mean by analysis? Within analysis, you should find out which are the new areas for you on which the question couldn't be attempted. So you skipped that question because it was very random for you. So you should carefully read the explanations of those random questions and those new areas, because you have 1 month to cover the new things till the 35 days are over. Then after that, you should also read the explanations of the questions in which you have the 50-50 kind of confusion. So you successfully eliminated 2 options, but then it was highly difficult for you to eliminate inaccurate option between the 2 options. So you also read the explanations of those 2 confusing options or the questions containing those confusing options, which are in my experience most higher in the number. At least 40 to 50 questions would be in that category for you. ठीक है. So that is your analysis of the test, and in the questions where you had sure shot attempt, then you would just have a cursory look or glance of those explanations. ठीक है. Now coming to the second stage, in the 15 days you would give 2 days per subject. And how would you revise? You would either revise the notes made by you from the static NCERTs, static reference books, and the notes made from the analysis of the test. Now analysis of the test have to be done in 1 or 2 pages per test, so that it will be very handy for you to revise those tests as well within those last 15 days. ठीक है. Now I forgot, if you haven't covered the PYQs yet, it is highly advisable for you to give priority for the revision and option by option analysis of the PYQs in this first lot of 35 days. ठीक है. That's very important. If you haven't done PYQs, I would go on to the extent that if you haven't done PYQs, keep aside the mocks for some time and go for the analysis of the 15 years PYQs of the UPSC, CDS, etc. ठीक है. Then in the second phase, 1 subject for 2 days, so that will be second revision, and within that second revision you will be revising mostly those areas which are very difficult for you to remember, and on those areas after those analysis you found the difficulty or the grey areas in your difficult subjects. ठीक है. So partial weightage would be given to those subjects which are difficult for you, and partial weightage would be given to those subjects which are easier for you, but nonetheless you are committing the silly mistakes. ठीक है. Then in the last 10 days we are keeping 3 days aside for some subjects or some micro topics or some areas which are yet pending or which you couldn't revise very well in these first 2 phases, or you can also keep these 3 days as a buffer ki in certain unlikely scenario if you fall ill for some reason. So those 3 days might be accommodated there, and in the last 7 days preceding the exam you will revise 1 subject per day. So including the current affairs, it is 7 days for 7 subjects, and within those 7 days you would keep the very factual nature of subjects at the last. Conceptual subjects or concept applied subjects would revise first, like polity would revise first, physical geography, economy would revise first, and the factual subjects like Indian geography, art and culture, ancient medieval, then Indian mapping, international relations mapping, those subjects you would revise at the last. Then current affairs of economy, environment you would revise at the last. So that should how you sequence these timeline of 60 days. ठीक है. So that is very important, you should follow this timeline. Now even if you go in the reverse sequence, the last 7 days are for the revision or last set of revision. ठीक है. in these last 7 days and last 15 days, you won't focus more on the revision of those subjects or those areas which anyways you are able to remember. ठीक है, easier areas you won't waste your time in revising those subjects again and again, because anyways you are remembering them. You would give your time selectively to those areas, those subjects which after deliberate attempts you are not able to recall, you are not able to revise, you are not able to attempt the questions accurately. ठीक है, so that was about the timeline. Now let's switch to the main part, that is strategy. Only and only stick to the static sources or standard sources which had been referred by you till now. Now these static or these standard sources consists of NCERTs and one reference book per subject. ठीक है, not beyond that. So it consists of NCERTs, then reference books and also PYQs of last 15 years. Now mind that by PYQ reference I am telling you that you should not only go for what is the right answer of this particular PYQ. You should understand the trends on which micro themes UPSC is frequently asking questions, and you should also go on about detailing analysis of the different options given in particular questions. So if you carefully analyze different options, you would realize that a pattern emerges wherein UPSC has been repeating the questions or framing the questions from the different options. Okay? So in that sense, many micro themes are getting repeated. For example, in polity, every year fundamental rights questions are asked. In economy, every year question on banking is asked. In geography, every year question on climatology is asked. Okay? In environment, every year the climate change question is there. In science and tech, every year question appears on the defense technology or technologies tackling the global warming, like that. In every year in the international relations, mapping based questions on international agreements they are asked. Okay? Every year question on scheme etc. is asked on the Indian schemes. So that is how you will analyze the PYQs for identifying the micro themes. Then second strategy is, you should not have a fear of missing out on the different sources, different materials, different PDFs on the Telegram groups. Just as exam appears, the market of UPSC coaching institutes is flooded with the different materials, and the students get confused ki whether you should refer the different sources. I am telling you that this is not the time to refer a new source. You yourself think that even after reading and revising the static source or the reference source multiple times, if you are not able to recall the content exactly, then how would you be able to recall the content from the new sources effectively? Because the neural pathways aren't developed with the new resources, and you don't get sufficient time to revise those resources 2-3 times. Okay? That is why don't go for the compilations of any coaching institute or prelim specific compilation if you have already covered the monthly magazines of any coaching institute. Also, don't go behind coaching specific compilation of the prelims if you have well read the NCERTs and reference books. Revise from that only. Okay? No new sources, no random sources. Now there is a very important thing. If you are not feeling fit or if you are not feeling energetic, then you won't be able to give your 10 to 12 hours per day for the studies. So most important for you to have a mental and physical fitness, for which I would urge you to keep aside 15 minutes to 30 minutes a day for the exercise. I am not suggesting that you go to gym, but at least stretching, jogging or walking, okay, or yoga, meditation etc. you can keep, so that you feel physically and mentally fit. It would help you to keep these next 2 months dedicatedly for the studies and have more and more concentration and more recollection of the different concepts and facts in studies. Then you should formulate your own daily schedule and stick to it. Now I am advising that the schedule should be made in such a fashion that you are attempting at least something related to MCQs or mocks, whether it may be PYQs, it may be sectional mock, it may be full length mock within the time span of 9:30 to 11:30 and practice CSAT within the time span of 2:30 to 4:30. ठीक है, you might take 1 hour out of that or you might take entire 2 hours out of that, but those 2 hour slots should be only kept reserved for the MCQs practice. ठीक है, so that should be the thing, and divide your day in 3 slots, right? If you are a kind of candidate who feels bored with one subject, then what you should do, you should keep one subject as a static for revision, one subject as a current for revision, and the third slot is for the attempting of MCQs in the 2 hour slots. ठीक है, and also try to manage 1 hour every day for revising whatever you have read or revised throughout the day. You should re-revise it. For that, like, it will be a kind of consolidation of the content which you have read throughout the day or revised throughout the day. ठीक है, so keep 1 hour extra for revising whatever you have read throughout the day. ठीक है, you could also keep aside 1 hour for the CSAT or 2 hours within those CSAT slot for the CSAT practice. ठीक है, don't ignore CSAT at any cost. Don't think that you are an engineer, so it would be easier for you to tackle the CSAT. ठीक है, it has been difficult for many maths loving aspirants or CAT giving aspirants only to qualify the CSAT since last 3-4 years. So don't take CSAT lightly. If any particular section is weak for you, that is quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning or English, do practice that section selectively and at least practice 10 to 15 from 2013 onwards, practice the PYQs of CSAT. ठीक है, that is the standard level of practice, because even coaching institutes are not able to frame questions which are like UPSC questions. ठीक है, then I would like to give you some reminders. I am calling them holy reminders. You should not forget these things at any cost. I have seen many aspirants, they attempt different sectional test or different full length test, and for them it's like a competition कि my friend has attempted 50 mocks, so I will attempt 100 mocks. ठीक है, so you should not compete about attempting more and more mocks. ठीक है, any one coaching institute's entire set of mocks, sectional plus full length, is enough, but I am advising you should go only behind those sectional tests on which your subject is weak and attempt at least 10 to 15 full length mocks of various coaching institutes. ठीक है, those coaching institutes which frame good or decent level of questions. ठीक है, so attempting mocks is not important as much as it is important that analysis of SOLT test should be done. Now this SOLT test analysis I have told you just a while ago. ठीक है, you should analyze the test by categorizing the questions into 3 types. First category, sure shot questions, you will just glance through the explanations of those questions. Second category, 50-50 confusing questions, in which it might be the net benefit for you, but nonetheless you were not sure on those questions, so you would read those explanations very carefully and make notes out of those new content or new pointers. And third would be the bouncers or random questions on which you had no idea at all, so those notes should be made in elaborate manner. So I am suggesting कि notes of every mock should be made on one sheet of paper, like single page or at max 2 pages. ठीक है, so that should be the analysis, and after analysis of different mocks, the pattern would emerge where you would be able to identify whether environment is difficult for you, whether science and tech is difficult for you, whether you commit more and more silly mistakes, whether the areas which you had covered very well, even in those areas you are committing the silly mistakes, whether you need more revision so that your 50-50 confusion would go away. So that is why we do analysis of the mocks. ठीक है, so analysis is very important. Again I am re-emphasizing, if you haven't covered PYQs well, then do cover last 15 years PYQs in detailed fashion, and even if you have covered PYQs and just saw their answers where, but you haven't done the in-depth analysis of the different options of the PYQs, then I would suggest ki do the in-depth analysis of the PYQs and its different options. To solve this problem, we had arranged for Prelims Pro with PYQs program, in which we are not only able to revise the different areas with the prior knowledge, but also we are teaching the students how to apply logical elimination techniques, and afterwards as a last option where nothing works, we are also telling students how to apply some elimination tricks and techniques and observable pattern techniques. Okay? Then the third pointer is you should not be skipping any subject. Many students do this mistake, they skip art and culture, they skip medieval, okay? They skip ancient. So you should not do this mistake. For example, out of history, half of the questions are asked on modern India, and since last 3 to 5 years, half of the questions in in history are asked on ancient, medieval, art and culture. So those are 7 to 8 questions. You should not sacrifice those questions at any cost. Okay? Because in an era where more and more random questions are asked on the environment and science and technology, you should not be ignoring any subject, especially the static subject. Okay? Because once you have done PYQ analysis, once you have done the reference sources, so it would be easier for you to attempt questions on those static subjects. Okay? Then prepare the core subjects and its high yielding topics in priority. Okay? Which are the core subjects? Polity is a core subject, history is a core subject, economy is a core subject, geography is a core subject. So these 4 are core subjects. So you should not in any sense leave the preparation of these core subjects at last and go on running behind the random subjects like environment and science and technology and IR. Those subjects should also be prepared, but first priority should be given to the core subjects and their high yielding areas. For example, in polity, parliament chapter, fundamental rights chapter, then president governor. Okay? So then DPSP, fundamental duties, these are high yielding topics. So in every subject there are high yielding topics. In economy, banking, monetary policy, then international institutions, this is high yielding topic. So identify such high yielding topic after the analysis of PYQs, and then cover the subjects or core subjects in priority. And last but not the least, you should have a winner mindset. If you are having fear every day that it would be difficult for you to crack the prelims, whether you should skip the attempt, it is not your cup of tea. So you should not have such doubts. If you have prepared well throughout the year, or if you are preparing since last 1 or 2 months dedicatedly for the prelims, if you have covered the syllabus at least once through the standard reference sources, even if that is done, the time is not gone for you to prepare those subjects well, revise those subjects well and attempt the mocks. So time is still there with you, so don't have fear. Okay? So that's about the strategy. Now we shall discuss the static sequence of the subjects and sequence for the current affairs subject. So just before I told you, for those students for which it is difficult to prepare one subject entire day, for those students what you can do is have one static subject per day in a one study slot, and have second current affairs subject per day in the second slot, and third slot will be reserved for the mocks, because of which it would not be boredom or burdensome for you, and simultaneously you will be preparing for 2 important subjects, one important subject from static, one important subject from the current. Okay? So accordingly you can go about preparing the subjects. So within 35 days you would have revised both the subjects at least once, one from static point of view, one from current affairs point of view. So static subject sequences, first of all, Indian polity, at least 15 to 18 questions every year are asked on the Indian polity, and this subject Indian polity has the maximum yield or maximum output in the prelims if you have covered it well. Second important subject is history. In history, priority should be given to modern Indian history because it is easier to remember as compared to the ancient medieval art and culture. Though ancient medieval art and culture is very vast and there is less cost to benefit ratio, I am suggesting you should not skip this subject at any cost. At least prepare the important and frequently repeated topics like Jainism, Buddhism, different empires, different philosophies, ठीक है, different types of arts, architecture, paintings, etc. Then different terms associated with the Mughal empire, different foreign travelers, ठीक है. So and then Bhakti movement, Sufi movement, at least these high yielding topics you should prepare, ठीक है. Then third static subject is geography, in which sequence is first you should prepare physical geography because conceptual questions and conceptual areas are easier to prepare as compared to Indian geography, from where mapping based questions are highly asked. And at last prepare the human and economic geography, but do not skip the mapping at any cost. You might skip mapping within these 35 days, but I would suggest ki prepare mapping from the current affairs point of view. You can also prepare it at last, ठीक है. But don't think that you will see a compilation based video of mapping 8 to 10 hours and your mapping will be done. Mapping develops gradually. So if your mapping is very weak, world mapping and Indian mapping, give half an hour or see the mapping based video while you are having the lunch or dinner. That would be my advice, so that gradual visual memory develops in your mind and it would help you in tackling the mapping based question. After that, the fourth static subject is Indian economy. So in Indian economy, questions aren't purely current affairs based, ठीक है. Out of 15 to 20 questions of Indian economy, at least 10 questions have half of the static as well as some current affairs linkage. Only 5 to 7 questions are purely current affairs oriented. So for tackling those static plus current oriented questions, you should have revised the static of Indian economy, ठीक है. Then environment, so read the basics of environment and basics of ecology. So from the environment static, not very difficult questions are asked, very simple questions are asked, 3 to 4 from the environment. Other current affairs oriented questions are little bit difficult, ठीक है, because very many things are happening in the current affairs of environment and science and technology, ठीक है. So science and technology basics you would prepare at the last. Basics of nanotechnology, basics of biotechnology, ठीक है, basics of space technology, basics of information and communication technology, basics of cyber security, etc. ठीक है. Just have the major idea, basics of telecommunication, etc. 4G, 5G, 6G, Bluetooth technology, etc. Right. In the current affairs, first and most important subject is economy, after that environment, after that science and technology, then international relations, then places in news, and then schemes and ancient medieval art and culture. So this should be the sequence for preparing current affairs. Now in the international relations and places in news, they ask questions on mapping, ठीक है. So there are two type of questions in international relations. One question is purely IR based, in which different agreements are asked and which are the members of different groupings that is asked, ठीक है. And in some questions, mapping based questions, they will take an idea from the agreements and they will ask where the particular country or where the particular city is located, or in which region it is located, or it is surrounded by which water body, ठीक है, which desert is there, right. So those questions will be asked. So that was about the sequence of static and current affairs subjects. Now last but not the least, I am going to differentiate the approach, 60 days approach for freshers and for veterans. For freshers or first attempt aspirants, or those aspirants who have given the attempts but have very high fear of prelims, now this is a high time for you to get serious and devote at least 10 to 12 hours every day without fail for preparing the prelims with full focus, ठीक है. Your focus should be to cover the syllabus in any case in next 35 days, and if you have covered few subjects of the syllabus, you should cover remaining subjects of the syllabus and also revise those subjects, every subjects at least with the high yielding areas. So high yielding areas cover at least 75 to 80% of the syllabus of every paper or every subject, ठीक है. You can negate or you can ignore the low yielding areas for the time unless and until high yielding areas of every subjects are covered in a priority basis. ठीक है, so time is less for you, so every minute every hour you should utilize as per the cost benefit analysis. How much time I am putting in and how much benefit in terms of accurate attempting of the MCQs would I get, that should be your goal. Then if you haven't covered PYQs, even it is the time that you could cover the PYQs even now in the coming 30 days or even coming 35 days. ठीक है, not only go for the PYQs but also do PYQs analysis. And if you haven't done PYQs, then priority should be on the PYQs coverage rather than giving mocks. But if you have covered the PYQs, go for the less number of sectional tests and go for the more number of full length tests. ठीक है, within the duration of 9:30 to 11:30. ठीक है, and for the veterans or those who have confidence in clearing the prelims or those who have covered the syllabus well 2-3 times, for them I am suggesting a reverse engineering method. What is reverse engineering method? Because you have covered the NCERTs and reference books multiple times and revised them well, have made notes out of it, you should only go for the identification of grey areas. And how would it be done? It would be done through the analysis of different mocks. So you should take any one coaching institute's entire set of the tests, sectional test and full length test, cover those tests in a priority basis, identify the grey areas by analysis of those tests and read those areas through the reference books or NCERTs which you had read earlier. That should be your strategy and make notes out of it. ठीक है, so that would be your strategy. Attempt sectional test of any one coaching institutes and full length test of 2 to 3 coaching institutes. ठीक है, and do detailed analysis. So that should be your reverse engineering method for bridging the grey areas. ठीक है, so that was about the next 60 days prelims preparation strategy. I am wishing you all the best. If you have any doubts, you can visit our office, IS Delhi Institute, behind the Madonna Hotel. Thank you all.